Zeus. How are you today? Well, I had a interesting revelation based on information that I put into my head for a number of years. And in the book Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks, Teachings of Abraham, I discovered, since all is vibration, right? Now we think to ourselves, all is vibration. And so the attuning of the actual person and understanding your own personal vibration is your feelings are your own personal vibration. Now management of the field is governed by two processes. One is the subconscious brain, which vibrates with programs that have been installed into the cerebral cortex through the what's it called, reticular activated perceptual wheel, right? So what's that? About 70,000 thoughts, experiences you've had, and beliefs about particular things. So you're always vibrating that core, and then when you're actually thinking about a thing, you actually send out that. Now, if it's contrary to your natural vibration, you'll feel a pressure within you. A lot of people, it's like putting your one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake, right? And that's what actually causes most people's electromagnetic generators to actually cease, which is their heart. And I was thinking about that. So, and I was also encouraged to consider that alcohol doesn't conduct electricity. So when you're drinking, it actually does cease the vibrational frequency of the natural person, right? And this is interesting. I was considering, how, as I've observed, most of the people who get sober, right, before they change their actual programs that they're running, because it's nothing they're doing wrong, it's just stuff that's already been programmed in there. Well, shit hits the fan, right? And that's interesting, and so they have guides to help them through that, which they call them sponsors, and then they have a book that you have to read, right, Alcoholics Anonymous. And it's interesting because the book also talks about how people become the director and they try to direct people. And it's interesting how they become exactly what they read, because all books are spells. I'm not saying there's no validity in it, but what type of spell do you want to cast upon your own life is the question. And when you consider all the stories about people actually going out in various different methods, they went out, thoughts, things, then you think to yourself, well, there's a positive in that because you don't have to replicate the issue. But if that issue is now being embedded into the core, then that vibration and feeling of the actual experience while reading it then becomes your reality. It's just simple, and that's funny when you think about it, because all is truly vibration. There's really nothing personal. I suppose the only thing you can do is manage your thinking and then figure out how to change that subconscious response, because, you're not going to overcome that, especially if you're not drinking, because you're not shutting off the vibration. So you've got to continually battle the same thing over and over again. And that's pretty interesting. So if it is a particular position that you can take, because those who social lubricant they call alcohol, and indeed it is, but the only thing is when it wears off, then you're now stuck within the reality that you're vibrating at, right? See, that's the key. You're not vibrating any message out to the universe when you're drinking, because alcohol does not conduct electricity. Therefore, now you actually are managing whatever you've been doing on your thought process is going to start manifesting, and hopefully most people think the good. But you do get into a habit form, which Dr. Joe Dispenza, which I highly suggest anybody checking him out. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Kevin Trudeau, Abraham, Teachings of Abraham. These things here are all free information, and it just takes a moment of time in order to make that reality true. I just wanted to share with you, every day and every way you get better, better, and better when you try to manage you, not manage other people. Managing you and then figuring out why in the F did I do this. You know, you can do anything. Why not do the best? And figure out how to be the best. You know, today is the day of your amazing good fortune. Blessings. Love you.